Sorry, just me. How are you? But I'm not kidding. Trump signed an executive order to make trading a great again. And I don't know what's going on with his Apple at 170 gets you 172.50, 172.50 gets you 175. Still trading. There's a light. So just as the fear of missing out was creeping in of all the woulda, coulda, shouldas, oh, I could have bought this, oh, I could have bought that, the market starts to sell off. And you're thinking, oh, maybe maybe I buy the dip. All those stocks that I liked yesterday are back to those prices. And oh wait, the market's selling off even more. Oh wait. And now it's going down. Oh wait, the volatility products are starting to go back up. Wait a second, what's happening? So a lot of what we're seeing, well, sorry, none of it is unprecedented. We've had crazier moves. I was looking at some of the COVID moves. I don't think we've seen the speed. Yesterday, I've never seen the speed of a move that dramatic. So I guess yesterday was unprecedented. 11% move off lows in 45 minutes. Amazing. Amazing yet more is what you saw today. The blatant 100% proof that the market is rigged to price, almost pre-programmed, as the cues make it not just back to recent highs or moving average, to the exact price, an ETF comprising of 100 of the most popular and most lucrative tech companies, software companies, all combined into one stock, mathematically making it impossible for any one particular price to be replicated. But there it was, showing you that the market is indeed rigged. But as you were sitting there mulling over all your mistakes from the last 24 hours, oh, I could have done this, I could have shunned that. The market said, here's your chance. Here's your chance. So instead of worrying about what you missed, do something about it right now. Put aside all your misery and your grief, and here's your chance to short the market at the highest point from the last 48 hours at the same price. Limited risk. Again, we didn't know it was going to sell off. There was an indication when you got to the same price, sell off. Then it tried to rally and then it rolled. The rally and roll is a chart pattern. The finger of God, we'd call it, or the blow off top confirmation. But that was just a speculative short. Then you look over in the corner and you say, wait a second, is that UVXY rallying? Why would UVXY be going up on such a huge, massive day? And then you said to yourself, maybe there's more to this sell off than meets the eye. Oh, wait. And now the QQQ is retracing back to the VWAP. And you thought to yourself, oh, it's just a wonderful retrace to the VWAP. I'm glad I'm short. I'm going to take some profits because that's what the VWAPians do. We take profits when we short something and it reverts to the VWAP because that's the plan. But then it breaks the VWAP. Are you still upset about the fact that you didn't buy Apple yesterday at 175 and sell it at 192? Well, now's your chance to do the opposite. Get your revenge on the market now that the market's telling you, here, I'm giving you the ability to seek revenge. Did you take it? Did you take it? Did you? Did you buy UVXY? See, the alarms are going off. UVXY went green. So let me explain to you what happened. So I've seen this move a number of times, and I used to call it the relief becomes dismay. The relief rally, when we're having a moment where the market is weak and we have that big up day and everybody says, oh, relief rally, right? The relief rally into the FOMO rally, as some will call it. I'll call it the relief rally. The relief rally started yesterday, and then today's gap and go. And again, the market was relieving itself for quite some time this morning. 527.50 got you 530. 530 got you 532.50. 532.50 got you 535. 535 got you 537.50, and so forth and so forth and so forth and so on. And then I was getting a little antsy. I'm like, are we just going to keep going up and up? And I was like, all right, you know what's probably going to happen? They're probably going to test yesterday's highs. And there it was. And then we start to sell off. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll give it a chance to short it up here. UVXY, confirm my idea. Price action, confirm my idea. But let me tell you what happened. Once the market went red and the relief rally became dismay, look what happened. Look what happened to UVXY as it went green and broke yesterday's highs, telling you you need to not only stay short, you need to pound the table on the short, because UVXY doesn't lie. It never will. It never has. And shall it remain the same? It never lies. So instead of saying, hey, well, maybe the worst is over, no, the worst is not over. UVXY is rallying. So if you thought for a second, oh, maybe the worst is over, you're wrong. And in that moment, that's when you realize and hopefully I'm speaking for other people, I am now a good trader. I'm a good trader because I realize what I think is irrelevant. It's nice that sometimes what you're thinking might happen actually happens. It's nice when you think what's going to happen is validated by the charts and price action. But more importantly, what separates the good trader to the great trader? It's realizing you don't know. And you don't know shit. Nobody knows shit. Right? Cocaine. Go watch Wolf of Wall Street. Listen to the speech. Nobody knows shit. It's a fugazi, it's a fugazi, it's a woozy, it's a wazi. Nobody knows. Nobody knows if a stock's going to go up, down, sideways. Nobody knows. Somebody knows. Somebody's programming this. I don't know who they are, but I'd like to meet them. And I don't believe in I don't believe in what's the word? Let's just say I just don't believe in heaven and hell. But if it does exist, right? If there is a heaven and a hell, my version of heaven would be to go visit my enemies on a daily basis and watch them burn. But also, my idea of heaven would be to be finally explained how it happens. Who's controlling this shit? Like, who's doing the programming? I'd like to meet the architects of the matrix that we live in. Because today, if you haven't been convinced today was the day you need to be convinced it's rigged to price. It's not about what you think or how you feel. It's about what is happening, Blanche. So if you thought, wow, this market, man, maybe the worst is over. We're going to start rallying from here. And that's what you thought when the market broke VWAP and tested it from underneath. And then the UVXY started to rally at that same time. Whatever you thought, you throw out the window. And if you thought the market was susceptible to more selling, it validated your idea in that moment. And in that moment, you became a great trader. And in the last 72 to 144 hours, the market has moved enough that years worth of money, I'm not saying I did it, could have been made. But what I am going to do, my friends, is I am sitting here patiently ready to get my revenge on the UVXY. Because look at my face. I have been, and I told you, I'm not going to tell you the number. It's pretty awful. I was absolutely ripped apart. I was called by Schwab and they forced me to liquidate my account. And of course, it could have got worse the next day, but of course it didn't. And I was over leveraged and I take full blame. But now I'm not over leveraged. And I'm going to start shorting it probably tomorrow. They're buying $95 calls for next week for $5. We are at full lunacy. And nobody wants to go full retard, as they say, right? Now, again, UVXY could be trading at $65 tomorrow. And if it is at 65, it could very well go to 85 and it could go to 120. But hear me now, believe me later. Inevitably, you'll be back at zero, no matter how high it goes. Since inception, no matter how high it went through Asian contagion, remember that one? Remember SARS? Nobody gives a shit about SARS anymore, right? Remember the Turkish coup? Remember when Russia invaded Crimea or Crimea or Crimea? Nobody cared. Remember there was that flash crash thing? Crazy times. We also had something called a pandemic. Remember that? Sick. Remember when they actually broke capitalism for 2 years? Yeah. They broke capitalism. Remember that? Market crash 50%, sick times, right? And then, of course, they bailed the banks out with our tax money and nobody went to jail, which everybody should still be pissed. That's why I don't have portfolios. And that's why, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't want to see the market go to zero, but I really do like it when it goes down because it exposes the true nature of the game that we're in. It's all bullshit. And it really is awful that real criminals, not Martha Stewart criminal, real criminals who dastardly, diabolically, with nefarious intentions, created products to fuck you. And the S&P and the Moody's corporations were complicit in the crime, rubber stamping those AAA bonds and selling them to the public, destroying the country, destroying capitalism, and almost bringing down the entire world economy. And nobody went to jail for it. You should still be pissed. I am. I am. And they should have let the system burn then. And we could have rebuilt a brand new system with rating agencies that are not complicit in crimes. All those people should have went to jail, every single one of them. They should have shut Moody's down. They should have shut the S&P down. We know what they did. And if I was president, I would go back. I would hold these people accountable. Vote Glick. I will not crash the market. I will have economic advisors when they say, Kenny, if you do what you're thinking about doing, it might crash the market. And I would say, you know what? Let's rethink this. Now, again, I don't think Trump has broke the world. We've lived through crashes before. I've never expected a self-induced crash. It is kind of irresponsible because I'm sure people told him not to do all this stuff. And again, as far as I'm concerned, I don't pretend to know the thing like my Facebook friends who think they know everything about everything, right? Sure. Here's why manufacturing's never coming back to the United States. The cost. That's it. And there is no company that's going to start building factories in our country that would take 3 to 5 years to build, to ramp up production, billions of dollars, bringing the cost of the goods and the goods, again, manufacturing, right? Nobody's going to start that construction knowing that this guy 3 weeks from now could say, hey, you know what? No more tariffs. Whether it's a bargaining tool or a negotiation tactic, or as he's saying, some art of the deal. He didn't write that book, right? Whether it is, and maybe everybody bows to us. And again, I think there's a bigger picture here, and I'm for it if that's what he's thinking about doing. Divide the world in four. I got no problem with that. And I'm being serious. Russia and America as besties again? Come on. Wouldn't that be awesome? Russia, China. We'll throw North Korea in there for fun. And the United States. Start a new alliance. We'd run everything. And nobody could question the thing we did. You want a real utopia? That would be it. Anyway. So, what's my point? My point is Trump, if anything has come out of this, has made trading great again. I mean, it's been great since COVID. And it's amazing how the best trading is when the market's out of its mind. So thanks, man, because this is the sickest shit I've seen. And I didn't think I thought I was done seeing some sick shit. And bro, once I start crushing the UVXY and I make that money back, I'm probably just gonna sit there and just let that one. I'm gonna do that trade, however long it takes to revert back to $20. I'm gonna take that money. I'm gonna sail away into the sunset, and then just be the commenting carnival barker of information, and just let my son trade and have some fun. Keep my hands off the keyboard, but we'll see if it get to that point because I need to make at least $2 million off this trade for myself to feel comfortable. So I'm hoping UVXY, and again, that's the only reason I'm hoping the market does crash, because if we crash, the UVXY will roughly be, you're probably getting to the 85, maybe 95 to 120 zone. At 120, I could probably do 30,000 shares. And then, am I? Am I clueless? I'm not saying this is what I'm saying. This might be the plan. Why? Why? Why is that such an insane idea? Why can't we be friends with Russia? Maybe that's the plan, right? He likes dictators. So let's go 4 dictators, all team up, and we'll be awesome. Why? Explain to me why. But don't do it here. Don't do it here. But why couldn't it happen? Right? We teamed up in World War II to defeat the Nazis, right? See, yeah, dog knows. But anyway, more importantly, UVXY. UVXY hits 80. I start to short. When they create $250 calls for January and they start trading at $30, I will be selling those too. And then when the chaos is over, the market might not recover, but UVXY will revert and start dropping in 10-point increments. And even if the market doesn't recover, UVXY will inevitably go down. It's never, ever stayed elevated since inception, unless the world is broken, which it might be, and hopefully not. I will get my revenge on this damn fucking product. Because this time, I'm starting slow. And I'm not over leveraged. And I don't have a position that I can't cover if it was to go to those prices. Now I can. So join me as I seek revenge, my friends. And as you see our algorithm at work, you got to see the work of my friend Salagello. It is something to behold. Our friend Mike Noss, and as well as my market acumen. Is that a word? It's a great time to be a trader, my friends. And I just want to give thanks to Donald Trump right there. See? And also, no. All right, I can't open it. All right. I'll open this one. Oh. Make silver great again, people. And as much as I don't like the guy, Gulf of America, silver coins. Fucking rock. Look at that thing. Look at the beauty. Walking Liberty on the front. Walking Liberty on the front. Gulf of America on the back, baby. All night. Got myself 55 of these. Make silver great again. Hopefully it goes to 120. All right, you guys have a great night. Email me. I'm also looking for hype men. If anybody's willing to be my hype man or woman or it. So here's what I need. I need a StockTwits liaison, right? I need you to have 10 to 15 accounts, and I want you to hit StockTwits with all the stuff that we're doing intraday. And for that, I will give you a free subscription to my website, which is a $5,000 value for the year. All right. So I just need a Flavor Flav. And I'm being serious. So if anybody's interested in just sitting around watching us trade, put some ideas on the StockTwits, tell people how awesome we are. Because I can't do it. I mean, I missed one trade today when I posted something about Tom Lee. And then I was about to buy the market again. I wanted to post another picture of Tom Lee, and the market started ripping. I was like, oh, see, I'm trying to be funny. It just cost me $900. And one Cadillac. You just cost me $5,000 and one Cadillac. What are you going to do about it, asshole? What movie? You should know that movie by now. Where did you learn to trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot? It's Glengarry Glen Ross. Come on now, people. All right. It's been nice knowing you. I shall be back. But I'm looking for, Glengarry Glen Ross. There you go. I'm looking for a hype man. Help me out. Because my goal is obviously, I've only still have one goal: to dethrone Kramer on CNBC and get my dumb face on the TV, so that my mom could finally say that I have a real job. It's been, Mom, if you're watching this, and I know you are, it's 33 years later. I made it. See? I made it. I know I'm not on the TV yet, but I'm gonna get there, Ma. I'm gonna get there. If they don't like the truth on the TV, Mom. They don't. That's why they don't invite me to the circle jerk things that they do. I speak too much truth. I'm very curt. They don't like me. And I got a small head. I got a tiny, tiny head. You need to have a big fucking head. Look at Jon Stewart's head. It's he's like a Frankenstein head. I got a tiny head, 6 7/8, 7 at most. Little tiny head guys, they don't make it in TV. Plus, Ma, they don't like the truth. I speak the truth, and people get off put by me. You know how it is. You raised me. But thanks for making me the pessimist that I am. It keeps me focused. I love you, Ma. Dad, by the way, stop buying the dips. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And then Thursday night, come and hang out. I'm having a hard time not drinking and smoking. I really picked a bad time for this. What? Oh, by the way, if anybody's wondering, that's my wife. That's my fish. He made it. I cleaned the water. I gave him a new plant. Put some vitamin to vegemin in the water. He's not hanging out by the filter anymore. So I thought he was a goner last week. He's Leroy the 18th. So as Leroy's thriving, maybe this market could come back. You go grill up the chicken, lady. All right. Peace, my friends. Thanks for still watching these videos. It's been, almost 20 years, right? Incredible.